Hola, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the Flight Sim world. This is Viperstrike 95, and we are back here with our around the world trip. We're back here in Brasilia today, as we're heading up on our way over to beautiful Rio de Janeiro. Hope everyone's doing well here today. We've got a bit of a flight to go on today. Should be a really nice trip. We'll be talking more about the culture of Brazil, and then we'll talk about Rio de Janeiro. So I hope everyone's doing well on this happy Friday. I do apologize for starting a little late. I was doing some file cleanups, and then it turned out it actually uninstalled the DC6, so I had to reinstall it again, and that's why I was running a little late. So yeah, good to have everyone here. We have Gurney House, good to see you. I guess you're going to update some of the games. Nice. This should be pretty cool. We have Red Dragon with us. He's in the Beechcraft. Good to see you, Red Dragon. And I also want to say hello to the mods who are lurking in the chat and the rest of the chat who are lurking. Good to have you guys here too. Great to see you. So we're back in the Douglas DC6 today. If you guys do know about the DC6, we did take this earlier in our trip. From Santo Domingo to St. Kitts. So today we're going to be taking the DC6 out again as well. Great to have everyone here. However, I got some pretty exciting news coming into you guys. On Sunday stream, since I got the new the BA-146 V2 update earlier today, I was actually thinking, if you guys don't mind, we'll take the 146 out on Sunday. We'll be flying that to Sao Paulo and to Curitiba. That should be a pretty fun flight, and it'll be a good test of the 146. I haven't flown that in a very long time, so it'll be great to take that out just to our skies once again. Should be a very, very fun trip. Let's get back to our Douglas DC6. You guys should probably know the DC6. This was PMDG's first ever plane they brought into the sim. I remember back when the Flying Fabio was streaming. Man, talk about a name from the past. The Flying Fabio. But the DC6 was built by the Douglas Aircraft Company in 1946. Introduced in 1947. Over 704 have been built from 1946 to 1958. It was also used in the military as the C-118 Liftmaster. But it was a very successful plane. It had power by 4 Pratt & Whitney R2800 double wasp engines that could produce up to 2,500 horsepower. In addition to that as well, they can go to a cruise speed of 350 miles an hour, and it can have a range at max fuel to 4,100 nautical miles. So it had a lot of range. It can go quite high for a propeller-driven plane, and it can carry quite a bit of passengers. 42 to 89 passengers with the B model. Super capable plane. Now, let's go ahead and get this started with our DC6. I'm going to let the flight engineer help me out with this, since DC6 isn't exactly the easiest. It's not as easy to start as the 737. The 737 is actually significantly easier to get started than the plane. But before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and look at the maintenance manager. Everything looks still pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and let the flight engineer take care of it. But no, I think it would be really nice for me to get the 146. I'm going to have to learn how to fly this thing again. But it should be a lot of fun taking the 146. I know I already got the 146 planned for Wednesday's trip to Alaska, so I'm planning on doing that. But maybe I should do the around the world trip with those two to get me kind of used to how I want to operate it. Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. It'd be great to get that plane a bit some love. So let me go ahead and program the DC6's the navigation for this. The route. Okay. Now that we got that, yeah, it is live weather. What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing the flight plan. I've already got the flight plan set up and all that. Target start engine. So yeah, I'm just doing I'm doing the pre-flight check since I've already got the. Yeah, yeah, this is an old airliner, Gurney. This is a DC-6. This is not some newfangled airliner. This is an old school airliner, Gurney. The DC-6. It's an old school plane. Oh yeah, yeah. This was the last time you saw me was flying in there. Yeah, I was taking the DC-6 through across Mexico. The last stream I took this. But no, I really do like flying the DC-6. Obviously, she takes a bit of work, but man, flying the DC-6 is so worth it once you. So rewarding once you figure it out. Oh, I now have to reset the entire flight plan again. Oh god. Oh, oh yeah. The last yeah, I was going to Jackson for my DC-3 scene. That was in the DC-3. That was even older than this thing. I'm just redoing everything again. Viperstrike, you believe in Egypt. I appreciate you guys taking me a bit of time. Like I said, the DC-6 does take a bit of. There we go. And that's it. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do after start.
Start selected boost pumps.
So once we do, we're gonna wait to after start.
Off and off. Battery switch.
He'll do the after start. He'll do the
Generators. Emergency lights. Armed. Ground power. Removed. After start checks complete.
Gust lock. Okay. Oh, finally. We're gonna taxi over to runway. We're gonna taxi over to runway 11 left. This DC-6 flight will be taking us 2 hours and 11 minutes. This will be a 2-hour, 11-minute flight in the DC-6. We'll be cruising at an altitude of 15,000 feet for this trip. Should be a pretty nice flight. Hey, Shirley dude, good to see you. Shirley Dev, good to see you. Your first time in chat. Welcome on in, my dude. We're about to take off the DC-6 from Brasilia over to Rio de Janeiro today. This is my second stream of this around the world trip. I've taken the DC-6, but I've been really wanting to take something different besides the 737. So I thought, why not take the DC-6, which I think would be an aircraft I think a lot more people would be interested to see me take in the skies. But I'm currently working ahead on my notes, so in my notes, I'm starting on Paraguay next. That won't be until next Sunday. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday will be our trip to Paraguay. So, working on the notes for that. I know, the fact they can make it real time and all that's really impressive. Absolutely agree with you on that one. It's very impressive how much they... Ready to get going. Here we go. And we're up. One. There we go. Whoa. Guys, we're ready to climb. Yep, we're off. Their amazing Douglas EC6. Oh man, Hey, good to see you, Filthy. Oh, nice. You're heading to Bangkok. Oh, that sounds like a great place. Fly to Bangkok or Dubai. Now that's quite a good flight. From there. That's up. Oh yeah, the DC6 is cool. I don't get a chance to fly this thing enough, for sure. So I take whatever opportunity I can get to fly the DC6. So, for our virtual airline, we are getting really close to the XP goal. We're just only under 600,000, I believe, away from the next hub. I'm hoping what Philpy says is probably going to be Premonition. We're going to have Southeast Asia next. There's a lot of good ones in Southeast Asia to pick. Bangkok, Ho Chi Minh City, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, even Phuket would also sound like a pretty cool option too, would be Phuket. All sound pretty cool, as options. Yeah, great to see you, Filthy. So, DC6 is gorgeous. I love DC. But you know, I can't wait to play Filthy. I can't wait to check out the 146 now. They got the update, so I really wanted to play because I've always liked the 146, but I haven't got many opportunities to fly it because, well, it needs some updates and stuff. Now I think V2 is going to be really nice to take the 146. So I might take it on Sunday, which to Sao Paulo and Curitiba, which would prepare for next Friday's expedition down um, to Agazu Falls, and I will get the scenery for Agazu Falls as well. Hey, no worry, Gurney House. Thank you so much for coming in here. Thanks for coming in, Gurney House. I hope you're having a great rest of your day and great start to your weekend. Take care, my dude. See you later, Gurney. That's the one plane at home. Oh yeah, I do like the 146. 146 is great. It's just I haven't got many opportunities to fly the 146 nowadays, just because. I mean, I've been loving the PMDG stuff a lot more. But I would not only take the 146 out on Sunday, I'll definitely take it out on next Wednesday. Do some Alaska flights from Juneau over to Ketchikan, and then Ketchikan over to Sitka. Should be some really nice flying in Alaska to prepare for my trip, in my real life trip into Alaska as well. So I'm very, very excited for it. Hey, Mikazi, good to see you. Hello, my friend. How you doing? So, Mikazi, we're heading to Rio de Janeiro to Galileo International, which, by the way, is also our Virtual Airlines Brazil hub. And I do like flying out of Rio. Rio's definitely pretty cool to fly over. Though I do wish, though, our Rio hub can have more stuff. Because there are a few destinations where I think Rio is kind of missing from Rio de Janeiro. And there's a couple destinations missing, like, for example, some of the Brazilian destinations like Manaus, Santarém, Belém, Picapa. Some of those are missing. I think those are like the most notable Brazilian destinations. We missed a few Brazilian destinations. There's quite a few Brazilian routes missing. And then there's also a couple others as well. But I do like flying out of our Brazil hub. It's definitely pretty cool to fly out of there too. Got some pretty cool stuff. Oh, no worries, Mikazi. Take your time. We're no rush. This is about a 2-hour flight in the DC-6, so we got plenty of time. No need to rush. So yeah, later today on Two-Toe Murphy's channel, he'll be taking the 146 from the new update, and he's apparently going to try and make it a bush plane. He's going to be flying from Cordoba, then go to Charles Sierra November. Um, which is way out there in Wrangell, which is right around Wrangell National Park. And then afterwards, he's going to go over to Haines Junction, um, and see if he can land like a bush point. I mean, technically, there was a real life thing they did. The Explorer 1. So that should be a fun flight. The 146 can operate in surprisingly small runways. And maybe if it ends up being really good, then I'm going to definitely take the 146 out more often. And like I said, that 146 is very versatile. Oh yeah, the 737-200, of course. Yes, Typhon. That yeah, with the gravel kits. Oh yeah, the 737-200 very um. Oh yeah, the 200. That's still in use today. The good old 200. That's still in use today. Due to its short field capabilities, it can actually operate a lot of the unimproved runways. It, and they're still used by many airlines like Air Inuit, Norlandor Aviation, and Chrono Aviation as well. They use gravel kit. So very capable plane. I would be curious to test that out. Yeah. So, so yeah, we got Red Dragon with us. Yeah, we got some pretty nice views of the Brazilian landscape here. But yes, there were DC-6 that did operate in Brazil back in the old days. But there were actually quite a few operators of the DC-6. And Brazil did have a few of them, including Brazil's, what was once Brazil's lead airline, Varig used to operate the DC-6, and they used that for quite some of their routes. And according to their old website, they mainly use the DC-6 to fly some of their domestic routes between Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, Curitiba, and Porto Alegre. So it was mainly used for the southern routes across all that. WeFly Daily, good to see you. Good to see you. We're actually in Brazil right now, and we are flying our way over from Brasilia over to Rio de Janeiro at Galileo International, not Santo Dumont. Now, if you guys want to know why I picked Galileo and not Santos, even though Santos would definitely be the more scenic approach, for our virtual airline, Galileo is actually one of our hubs for the virtual airline I'm with. So for Firefly Air, so I had to land at Galileo, which is fine. Galileo is a nice airport. It's very nice. And I think the Brazil hub would be better once the 777 comes out. We could do some of the long stuff. Because Brazil's such a massive country, you like the United States and all that, we need to have some more stuff in that area. Plus, there are some long haul routes from that Brazil. There are current company routes like Madrid, I think Abidjan and Cape Town are long haul routes take from the 777 through. Yeah, good to see you. Check out WeFly Dave's channel. Thank you, Typhon, for the shout out. Yeah, Varric did use the DC-6s for their flights. Also on Saturday as well, this Saturday, Allison Johnson will be back for another historical recreation stream from Gander to Lages in the Azores. I mean, you start from the cold Canada and you move your way to the tropical-like Azores Islands. About 1,300 nautical mile flight, and take her about 8 hours, depending on wind. So it should be a pretty enjoyable flight, for sure. No, yeah, very very excited to be here as well. So once we get up, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the news for a bit. This is MSFS add-ons. Of course, everyone should know the 146 just got a huge update. But basically, for guys who aren't aware, the Just Flight 146, which by the way is a really great vintage airliner, it's a fantastic plane. But V2 offers new cousin code FMS, GSX integration, a new highly detailed passenger cabin, and more, featuring a new flight management, music player, GSX compatibility, paper charts, checklist, new liveries, and improvements in quality of life stuff. It's completely free. I will probably bring it out on Sunday to show it off to you guys, but I think you guys are going to absolutely love this. Obviously, it's going to take me a bit of time. Like I said, it's going to take me a bit of a while. Yeah, it's going to take me a bit of a while to get started again, but it'll be really a lot of fun. Of course, there's also an A380 in the sim. Buyer beware though, because this is Braddock 3D. So do be caution. Their E380, it does look nice. However, the systems and stuff, So approach this with caution. Just telling you that, like, it's not like comprehensive. It's not gonna be like the fly-by-wire. It's for more basic people. If they just want an E3 basic, okay, fine. But, yes. And then apparently, Aeroplane Heaven has also released their P-47 to the sim. This should be a very interesting one. I think someone mentioned in the news. I'm curious to see how people rate the P-47. So, and then from FS Elite, from the folks at FS Elite, um, not really that much, but I did see there was a preview for Richmond. Orbex has got a they got a new scenery coming up in the future. It's gonna be Richmond International on Orbex's website. So they now are bringing in a new Richmond scenery. If you guys don't know Richmond, it is the second largest airport in the state of Virginia with over 150 daily flights. And Richmond's also known as the oldest continuously operating airport in the United States. Richmond. And it came to existence all the way back in 1927. It's still one of the oldest airports in the country, and it serves quite a few destinations across the country. In the eastern United States, they actually fly to places such as Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Newark, New York, Boston, Hartford. In the southern United States, Nashville, Charlotte, Atlanta, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and New Orleans. Midwest, you got Chicago, Detroit, and Minneapolis. In the western U.S., like Phoenix, Vegas, San Francisco, and LA. But it's very cool that Richmond's finally got a scenery. It looks from the images on the Worldbase's website, it actually looks really, really good. It looks really nice. Like I said, I'm glad that Richmond's finally got a bit of a scenery, for sure. And I have flown into Richmond a few times during my time with the sim. And I gotta say, it's actually a pretty nice little airport to fly in and out of. It's Richmond. We make a solid thing for our airline. We have one in Richmond, but I mean, we like Pittsburgh. Richmond would have been a pretty decent option. We're still climbing up to yeah, this is going to take a bit of a while to get fully climbed up to 15,000. It's going to take. Oh yeah, we have Mikazi with us. We have Mikazi. We have Red Dragon with us. Got a lot of people with us today here. Heading our way over to Rio. So yeah, guys, I want to ask you guys, what are you guys planning on for this weekend? I know I have my stream on Sunday. I guess for Saturday, I'm going to probably work on more of my notes. Team working ahead for the around the world trip notes. And I'm also going to work on getting more of the company routes done because, well, for our company routes, we're very close to the XP goals, so I want to get the notes complete so we can get the hub soon. I want to get it before I leave on vacation on the 21st. But basically, what I'm planning to do on that trip, I think I mentioned earlier. Once we land in Seattle, we're gonna have a day in Seattle, um, visiting the Museum of Flight in Seattle, which is a place I've been wanting to visit in Seattle, which is located on the grounds of King Field. I really want to check out that as well, and then also my dad wants to check out the Space Needle. We didn't get to do it last time. We driven by the Space Needle last time we were up there, but never got to check that out. And then, of course, then will be 14-day cruise up to Alaska. Not only will I still visit Ketchikan, Juneau, and Skagway, the same 3, but we're going to visit, I think, a couple new places. Huna, Valdez, Seaward, and Sitka, as well as a few other glaciers like Hubbard Glacier. So we're going to be visiting quite a few amazing places. Can't wait to, like I said, I can't wait to go do Alaska. That would be absolutely should be amazing. We're going to plummet to 15,000 feet very shortly. I don't think we have to wait too. Once we get to top of the climb, we're going to go ahead and talk more about Brazil a bit. I want to catch up a bit since I haven't really talked about the notes. I got more notes ready. Just well, it takes a bit longer than normal to climb up to 15,000 feet. So. Keeping an eye on that number count. So 15,000 feet. We'll be getting here pretty soon. little bit longer. It's only got a little bit longer left. There we go. Right on 15,000 feet. That's perfect. Oh, that's perfect then. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my autopilot engineer and go to cruise. Set to cruise mode. Okay, guys, we're at 15,000 feet. Pretty much right on the dot of 15,000 on the altimeter. So let's get flying. Okay, now that we got our cruise back to where we need it to be, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about Brazil's culture for a bit. So, slides. And, okay, let's go ahead and talk about Brazil's culture. And let me just tell you about Brazil's culture. In terms of cultural strength, Brazil's culture is among some of the strongest culture in the Americas. One of the most influential in the entire Americas. And Brazilian culture has been shaped due to its strong ties with the Portuguese Empire, as well as other influences such as African, indigenous, and non-Portuguese European culture traditions, including its unique art, celebrations, and festivals, which made Brazil very, very famous. Such as the Brazilian Carnival and the Buena Moiboi. Brazil's cultural history definitely plays a big role. And nothing is more influential for most people when they think of Brazilian culture, they think of Carnival. Now, Carnival, for you guys who don't know, this carnival is held as an annual festival held over 46 days before Easter, and are believed to have actually had pagan roots in the festival as Saturnalia, which adapted to Christianity, and it became a farewell to bad things in a season of religious discipline to practice repentance for Christ's death and resurrection. However, it is by far the most popular and famous holiday in Brazil, and has become an event of huge proportions. For almost a week, festivities are intense day and night in coastal cities. And some of the genres of music you can find in Brazilian Carnival include the samba and rendo, the marchenha, frevo, maracatu, and axe music. In terms of Brazilian Carnival, a lot of their carnival and stuff actually depends on which region of Brazil it is. In the southeast cities like Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo, you can find huge organized parades that are led by samba schools, and they are meant to be watched by the public, while minor parades allowing public participation can be found in other cities like Belo Horizonte. In the northeast, like Recife, Olinda, Salvador, and Porto Seguro, have organized groups parading through the streets and public interact directly with them, and it's a 6-day party. There's And basically, Carnival is the synthesis of European, Native American, and Afro-Brazilian culture influence playing a role of modern-day Carnival. For example, in 2023, it started on February 17th until February 22nd of about a week, and it's annual. And it's related to other events, including Mardi Gras, Ash Wednesday, and Lent are some of the ones it's kind of related to. But it's a big deal in Brazil. It's one of, hey, Tucumã Towers, good to see you. We just climbed up to 15,000 feet with our Douglas DC-6, and we're making our way down to Rio de Janeiro Galileo International, Sierra Bravo Golf Lima. So we're just cruising along. We're just about 370 nautical miles away. We're just about an hour and a half from Rio de Janeiro. But yeah, I wanted to take the DC-6 out for today since, well, I wanted to take something a little different. Like I said, I'm not afraid to mix things up every once in a while. But I know that Sunday will be the 146. I'm going to take that out to Sao Paulo and then Curitiba. But I felt this would be a good stream to put the 146 to the test. Good to see you. But yeah, Carnival is a huge, huge deal in the city. Yeah, those Carnival's insanely popular. No question, it is one of, if not the most popular event in the country. Definitely a pretty big deal. So I got another quiz. So I got a quiz here today. I'm going to do some quizzing before we leave. So, can you pick the sea of states when given the codes of the three largest commercial airports? This should be really interesting for you guys. So we're gonna do another aviation thing because I think it'd be pretty cool. Um, let's get going. First one is STL, MCI, Mike, and then Sierra Golf Foxtrot. So that is the U.S. state of Missouri because they're St. Louis, Kansas City, and Springfield, Missouri. Then we have CHS, that's Charleston, Myrtle Beach, and then GSP is Greenville, Spartanburg. That's in South Carolina. Then we have Honolulu, Maui, and Kona, which has got to be the U.S. state of Hawaii. Look at this. There's Philadelphia, our East U.S. hub, and Harrisburg. That's Pennsylvania. Charlotte, Rowling, Greensville, GSL. That is North Carolina. Then we have Las Vegas, Reno, and Bullhead City. That is Nevada. Then we have Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, and South Bend. That's Indiana. Then we have Jackson, Gulfport. That is Mississippi. And we have Wichita, Manhattan, and that's Kansas. That is Virginia because there's Doles, Ronald Reagan, and Richmond. Portland, Eugene, Medford Valley, Rogue. That's Oregon. Atlanta, Savannah, Augusta. That's Georgia. Boise, that is Idaho. Then we got MCO, which is Orlando, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. That's Florida. Seattle, Spokane, which is Washington State. Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Roswell, New Mexico. Baltimore, Washington, Salisbury, Hagerstown, that is Maryland. Milwaukee, Madison, Applewood, Wisconsin. Salt Lake City, St. George's, and Provo, Utah. Nashville, Memphis, Knoxville, Tennessee. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Shreveport, Louisiana. Newark, Atlantic City, and Trenton, New Jersey. Oh, that's Charleston, Huntington, Clarksburg, West Virginia. Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton, Ohio. That's Cincinnati, Covington. That's Cincinnati, Internet, Covington. SDF's My Home Commercial Airport, Louisville, and Lexington. That's Kentucky. Providence. That is the little state of Rhode Island. Boston, Nantucket, Massachusetts. Jackson, Casper, Cody, Wyoming. Oklahoma City, Tulsa. That's Oklahoma. O'Hare, Midway, Quad Cities, that is Illinois. Denver, Colorado Springs, and Aspen, that's Colorado. That is Portland, Maine. Bangor, that is Maine. Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Duluth are two of those. LA, San Francisco, San Diego, California. Anchorage, Fairbanks, and Juneau. Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston Intercontinental, Dallas Love. Even though right now it's actually technically Austin, actually. That is Arkansas. PTV. That is Vermont. Manchester, Portsmouth, Lebanon. That's New Hampshire. BDL and HVN. That state. Oh, that is Connecticut. Sioux Falls, Rapid City, that is South Dakota. PSM, that is Des Moines. Sioux City, that is Sioux Falls, that's Iowa. That is New York, because LaGuardia and JFK. ILD, Dover and Jed, that is Delaware. Birmingham, Huntsville, Mobile, Alabama. Detroit, yeah, that's Michigan. Bozeman, Billings, and Missoula, Montana. We have Phoenix, Tucson. That is Arizona. Fargo, Bismarck, Minot, North Dakota, and finally Nebraska. Boom. Yeah, you guys actually, it's pretty scary how much I know these ICAO codes once I. It's because I flew a lot in the United States, so I know what these markers are. But yeah, some of these are not easy to think about at first. Like, some are pretty obvious, but some of these, like, for example, some of the smaller states, like for example, Iowa or like Maine or that, first it should be difficult to figure it out. But, oh, Super Typhon says it's a possible reported case of the bells of Saint Salvador has been ringing by a gentle wind over 100 miles. Ooh. It's been about focused by the salt sail, in particular attention to the deck. Listen to. Ah, cool. Nice one. That's really cool to hear, Typhon. I took a listen to that. Yeah, thanks, Mikazi. Like I said, I want to brush up my knowledge. I wanted to brush up my knowledge of all things airports. there's definitely some really cool stuff. But I'm curious what Merck's going to bring next. I mean, the only other place I would like to see our airline move to is probably Latvia. I'd like to see Riga get to be a pretty good airport. Yeah, a lot of those was older probably. That was still really good though. My first try. It took me a bit, but that was definitely a very nice aviation. Oh yeah, I got a Brazil themed thing. Okay guys, find all the countries that border Brazil. We got 1 minute, guys. Let's see if we can do this in 1 minute. And this is force order, so let's go. Argentina is down over here. Peru is to the west. Bolivia is right here. Guyana is located up here. Colombia is right over here. Paraguay is right here. Venezuela, right here. Uruguay, right here. And Suriname. 36 seconds. I took that. 24 seconds I took that one. But yeah. The only countries, in fact, you want to know what countries don't border Brazil that aren't here? You guys want to take that as a guess? There are 2 countries where Brazil does not border. The one is Chile. Right over this area is Chile. The other is Ecuador. That's it. Those are the only 2 places